Why did Wolverine stab Spider-Man after all? Spider-Man and Wolverine Issue 2. It's Wolverine in a brutal fight. He's surrounded by broken robots, with his claws out and a determined look on his face. He's so over the typical heroic speeches that he just says, "Screw it. You know the rest." It's pure, no-nonsense Wolverine action. In Berlin, Wolverine meets Bill Branscombe, a shady spy who sells intel to the highest bidder. Bill arranged the meet in a Hydra-safe house, and Wolverine notes, asterisk, "I see you haven't lost your touch." Star. Wolverine in a tense face-off. He's confronting Bill, who is a double agent. They're arguing over a database of spies, and Wolverine is upset because this information could ruin a lot of lives. The page ends with a reveal that adds a personal touch to the whole conflict. A week later in New York City, Spider-Man swings through the streets, introducing himself as usual. But in typical Peter Parker fashion, he admits one thing hasn't changed. Asterisk, he's already running late. Star. Here, Peter meets his girlfriend, Shay Markin, who's annoyed he's late, something she now calls asterisk, Parker time. Asterisk, while joking, she admits she's been thinking about why Peter's life is always so messy. She says it goes back to his childhood, pointing out that his parents were secret agents who died in the line of duty. She concludes that Peter hides from the truth with humor, though this time, the truth really is no joke. Peter is on a date with Shay when Wolverine suddenly shows up on his motorcycle, demanding Peter's help immediately. Peter awkwardly introduces Logan as a coworker from work and rushes off, leaving Shay frustrated. She reminds him that he bails on every date, no matter the excuse, while Peter tries to reassure her he'll make it up next time. Wolverine and Spider-Man find the Janus directory hidden on a decommissioned S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier. It's locked behind heavy encryption, and while Spidey cracks jokes, Wolverine warns it won't be easy. Wolverine and Spider-Man are ambushed by Omega Red and Kraven, who are also after the Janus directory. Spidey complains about no warning, while Wolverine confirms their enemies want the same thing. Spider-Man suggests switching opponents to keep things interesting, while Wolverine clashes with Kraven and Omega Red. Spidey jokes nonstop, introducing himself mid-fight, while Wolverine gets annoyed and tells him to shut up. Omega Red, unimpressed, says he doesn't care for funny. Omega Red blames Spidey, but he jokes back. Wolverine battles Kraven, who admits Logan's the tougher prey. As Omega Red attacks, Wolverine mocks Kraven for teaming with Arcady, but Kraven says a hunter uses every weapon. Wolverine blows something up and says, "Okay, good to know." Meanwhile, Spider-Man gets caught in Doc Ock-style tentacles but keeps fighting back. One of the villains mocks him, saying he's pathetic and not as strong as expected. Spider-Man then flips around, lands a solid punch, and replies that he can be pretty formidable when he wants to be. Wolverine warns the enemy the directory won't leave without him. Kraven fires a rocket, causing a huge explosion. Wolverine dodges but realizes things are getting worse, saying he's got a really bad feeling about it. Wolverine wakes up buried under debris, struggling to breathe and escape. His senses are screaming, oxygen is running out, and his head is getting light. As he claws around, he suddenly realizes he feels wood, like he's been trapped inside something. Wolverine claws his way out of a coffin marked with his own grave, drenched in rain and rage. Confused, he wonders where Kraven and the other enemy went. And as the scene shifts, he's lost in a snowy, stormy place, questioning where he's ended up. Spider-Man appears wired up with strange tech, his mind altered. He feels different, angry, feral. Suddenly, claws pop out from his hands like Wolverine's. He roars into the snowy night, consumed by rage, becoming more animal than man. Wolverine is disoriented, unsure how he ended up here, and finds Mariko unconscious. Meanwhile, the feral, weaponized Spider-Man battles a bear, then charges at Wolverine with claws out. A sword suddenly clashes, interrupting the fight. As Wolverine holds Mariko, someone declares she's doomed, leaving him in shock and rage. Green Goblin appears, taunting Wolverine after Mariko's death, and Wolverine swears revenge, ready to kill him. At the same time, another foe challenges Spider-Man with a sword, demanding he prove himself. Spidey fights back, confused, realizing things don't make sense. He was just in the snow moments ago. Spider-Man and Wolverine find themselves trapped, tortured by visions of enemies. They realize the pain and chaos aren't real. It's the same thing happening to both of them. Craven must have dosed them with a hallucinogen, meant to confuse and weaken them, leaving them vulnerable so the villains can move in for the kill. Spider-Man snaps Wolverine out of Craven's illusions, reminding him the past doesn't control them. Wolverine admits he's been through worse mind games. Craven reveals his real weapon is allies, uniting their enemies. Spidey senses a clue from the bridge and realizes Craven's partner and the protocols are there. Spidey recognizes the smell and knows it's Quentin Beck, Mysterio. He's surprised, since Mysterio was supposed to have reformed. Mysterio admits he tried to go straight, but couldn't refuse Craven's offer. Spidey, disappointed in him, throws a punch, saying he expected better. Spider-Man is looking through a classified database and finds something important. Meanwhile, Wolverine is fighting and enjoying himself, calling the fight the Motherlode. The page ends with Spider-Man finding a file on a double agent. This page shows Spider-Man looking at files about his parents, Richard and Mary Parker. He sees them as secret agents, and then images showing their death in a plane crash. In the last panel, Wolverine gives a compliment, saying, "Nice job, Bubs." This comic page shows Spider-Man playing a security video from a plane. In the video, Wolverine is present. Spider-Man is shocked, asking him what he's doing on the plane. It seems to be a key moment from his parents' past. Spider-Man is shocked to see a security video of his parents' plane crash that includes Wolverine. The next page shows Wolverine at the crash site, suggesting he was there when Spider-Man's parents died. A furious Spider-Man attacks Wolverine, threatening to kill him. The comic ends on a cliffhanger, showing the two heroes in a major fight. This comic cover shows Spider-Man and Wolverine locked in a fierce battle. Spider-Man uses his webs while Wolverine prepares to strike with his claws. The title, "Fight to the Death," highlights their intense conflict. Spider-Man screaming, "You killed my parents." He then unleashes a barrage of furious punches on Wolverine. Wolverine, clearly hurt, tries to say Pete, but Spider-Man cuts him off with a forceful "shut up" and another punch. It's an intense, one-sided fight fueled by Spider-Man's anger. Spider-Man, consumed by rage, repeatedly punches Wolverine, screaming, "You killed my parents," and "I saw it happen." Wolverine is on the defensive as Spider-Man's anger explodes. Spider-Man watches a paused video of his parents with Wolverine in a plane cockpit. The final panel shows him furiously punching Wolverine, blaming him for their deaths. As their fight continues, Wolverine tries to explain to Spider-Man that the video of his parents was faked by Mysterio to frame him. However, a furious Spider-Man refuses to listen. In a mid-air fight, Wolverine attacks a man and woman on a plane. Spider-Man intervenes, punching Wolverine. The man then accuses Spider-Man of sabotaging their plane, as there are no parachutes. On a security camera, a man and a woman share a final, loving moment. He says, "I love you," and calls her Peter and May, before they appear to crash. Spider-Man discovers a shocking secret. Wolverine was a double agent working for the Red Skull and was involved in the deaths of his parents. This reveals a deep betrayal that Peter never knew about. Wolverine and Spider-Man are arguing. Wolverine admits he's made many mistakes, but stresses that the one thing he knows is real is Spider-Man's integrity, implying their friendship is genuine despite his past. The action intensifies. Spider-Man is seen fighting a bulky, monstrous figure, while a third character blasts them with a powerful fire attack. The fire engulfs the area, but the monster appears to be surviving the flames, as it's shown standing and growling amidst the fire. This is an intense close-up of a battle. Wolverine has transformed into a ferocious beast and is attacking another monster with his claws. In this panel, Spider-Man is fighting a monstrous Wolverine, trying to contain him with webs while surrounded by fire. Spider-Man is trying to stop a monstrous, out-of-control Wolverine by shooting webs at him. However, Wolverine's immense strength allows him to easily tear through the webbing. In a brutal attack, Wolverine overpowers Spider-Man and slashes him directly in the chest with his claws. Spider-Man attempts to flee the monstrous Wolverine but crashes. Wolverine then brutalizes him until a dark figure intervenes, knocking them down and grabbing Wolverine. The new character takes control, throwing the monstrous Wolverine and then slamming him against a wall, which reverts him back to normal size. The character then throws the normal-sized Wolverine at Spider-Man, who then begs Spider-Man to listen to him. Wolverine tells Spider-Man the video was a trap, admitting his memories are broken but that he remembers a plane crash. Despite this, Spider-Man's shocked reaction seems to show he believes Wolverine was responsible for his parents' deaths. A raging Spider-Man fires a massive web barrage, but the mysterious dark figure easily smashes through it. The hulking figure then attacks Wolverine with great force, and in the ensuing chaos, Spider-Man is struck by a powerful blow, screaming in pain. In this panel, the mysterious dark figure from the previous page is torn apart. The final large panel shows the aftermath, as a monstrous Wolverine and a wounded Spider-Man are locked in a brutal fight amidst the fiery wreckage. A ferocious Wolverine attacks Spider-Man, whose reflection is seen in his own mask's eye, showing his fear. A feral Wolverine savagely attacks a wounded Spider-Man with his claws, ending the scene on a cliffhanger.